Okay, welcome everyone to the monthly satsang of Sri Anandamayi Ma, in whose presence of the paduka she wore on her feet. We're here. And we got a new internet booster, so we can do it here at home rather than our office. That's much better. So I always have to make the first disclaimer that we are recording this session and we will play it on we'll upload it to our YouTube, Anandamayi Ma Satsang West, for people to hear these readings and these talks we'll have. But please don't let that discourage you from participating, enthusiastically even. So we're meeting to consider the life and teachings of Sri Anandamayi Ma and invoke her presence through our prayers, through our singing, through our attention to her, and trying to understand her relevance in our life today, because she's very relevant if we tune into her. She is the embodiment of pure consciousness, the pure consciousness that we are deep inside without the coverings. So we remember her, we remember our true self. And she many times said, I am your true self. I am the Atman. The Atman, and here is the Atman of all. So she's we're all very much connected with her. And the more we remember her, the more we put her teachings into practice, the more blessed our life will be. And it doesn't matter if we have other teachers, other gurus, other paths, everything falls under Ma's incredibly universal vision and umbrella, because she was in the state of absolute unified consciousness, and she brought unity wherever she went and whatever she did. So let's all, and also we always say many times, she always said, you cannot even think of me unless I first think of you. We didn't call her, she called us. So we are all here because of her grace. We've all been touched by her grace. So our response to that grace should be enthusiastic and loving and strong. And that's what this satsang is about, to support each other and to find out how to respond to Ma's grace by applying her teachings. So my name is Mangalananda, for you who haven't been here before, and I am an appointed acharya. That means like just a lineage teacher or a sharing of Ma's teachings from Ma Sharanam Ashram in central India. I received Diksha from Ma in 1973 and followed her around India for a long time. And I've been living basically in her lineage with her disciples ever since. And this is my wife, Gloria.
Jai Ma, we missed you last month. We were in Hawaii. We were at a Shiva shrine, peeking into the gathering you guys were having, but we didn't have good internet. So we're glad to be back.
Yeah, and Saraswati and Renu and Katya did a great job in Rangan. It's really good. And my co-host is Pragya Halstrom, who I'll ask to introduce herself, although I just introduced her. And she has run our Matri Satsang in Boston for many years and the author of several books on Ma. So Pragya, will you say hello?
Jai Ma, everyone. So good to see you. I'm happy to say that for the first time, I'm here at Ma's new ashram in Amherst, Massachusetts. And we will be having our opening ceremony a week from today. And so we're scurrying around trying to make everything perfect for Ma, as perfect as we can with her grace. And some of you are actually going to be there in person, which I'm very thrilled about. And others of you, we are going to do our very best to create a live stream on Zoom. This is next Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And it's going to be really an auspicious occasion. So thank you so much.
Very good. Yeah, it's Pragya has been working on this for many years. You've all been dreaming about it, and we'll have an ashram now, a small ashram Ma, starting from scratch, is the way it should be. Very organically, it will grow. A place where people can meet. Also, there's a link, a quick announcements now, so people, in case people leave early. There's also a link in the chat. I and Gloria and my tabla player will be in Yogaville in Virginia on July 4th weekend. We're giving a 3-day workshop on mantras and chanting and bhakti yoga according to Anandamayi Ma. So you're welcome to join us there in Yogaville, in Virginia, Satchidananda Ashram, Swami Satchidananda's ashram, big, I think it's the largest spiritual community in America. We'll be there on July 4th weekend. There's a link there if you want to learn more or register for that.
Actually, you need to repost that because everybody who joined after you sent it does not have access to it.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know it. Okay, hello.
So if you want to repost that one, I already reposted the one for next week's Ma Sharanam opening ashram.
Okay, can you see it on your chat?
I don't have it on mine either because you sent it before I joined.
Oh, okay. Let's see what we do here.
Hey, Mangalananda-ji, I'll find it and post it, okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, John, because I'm sitting here, you know,
Thanks, John.
from a distance, it's hard to do. Very good. So, like those of you who have been here, I have kind of a liturgical way of doing this every month. But one of our main motives in starting this was just to have a place where people could come to learn more about Ma, to have a satsang and community and support and sharing and friendship. And this has happened since COVID, since we started going online from our in-person group in California, that it's gone worldwide. But I saw there was somebody from Estonia there. So we really want to see everybody. So we asked people to be patient because we have a lot of people here. So let's just quickly introduce everyone. And so please turn on your video. And later on, we're going to open the floor for discussion and sharing. But for now, since we have a lot of people, just say your name and where you're from, basically. And Renu, our dear co-host, tech host, will call your name and just make sure your video is on so we can see your face, and we'll just say where you're from and your name, okay? So Renu, why don't you introduce yourself first?
Okay. Renu Chaudhary from Fremont, California. Jai Ma, good to be here again. We'll start with Katya, since she'll be providing a little bit of kirtan later on.
Jai Ma, this is Katya from Portugal. Very happy to be here with you. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma. Good to see you.
Jai Ma.
Okay, thank you, Jai Ma. Next, we will have Chandana.
Shyama from Fargo, North Dakota. I'm Chandana. Very glad to be here with you. Namaste.
Very happy to see you. Aapka
Jai Ma.
swagat hai. Jai Ma. Were you by any chance with Ma? Did you have Ma's darshan?
I never had.
Okay, very good. Well, you will now because you're here. We're all going to have Ma's darshan.
Shyama.
Jai Ma, welcome. Next, we have Irigal.
Is that me?
Yes, sorry, that's how I see it.
Sorry, I'm Laura. It's the first time here. I'm from Iowa City, Iowa.
Welcome,
Oh,
Laura.
Jai Ma.
Jai
Welcome,
Ma.
Laura.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma, welcome.
Nice
Thank
to see old faces and nice to see new faces.
Okay, next we have Valerie Lambert.
Shyama, hello everyone, and I'm listening from the southwest of France.
Welcome, Valerie. Jai
Jai
Ma.
Okay, great. Welcome. Next we have Ivan.
Hi, thank you. Listen to me?
Yes.
Thank you. I am Ivan from Brazil, São Paulo.
Wow,
Oh,
Jai
welcome,
Ma.
welcome. Jai Ma.
I've been to Sao Paulo. It's beautiful.
Hmm.
Okay,
you.
welcome, Jai Ma. Next we have James Broad or Broadus.
James.
James, you need to unmute.
Sorry.
Look, bottom left.
Jim brought us from Henderson, Nevada. Very happy to be here.
Welcome, Jim. Jai
Jai
Ma.
Ma.
Welcome, Jai Ma. Next we have Reed.
Hi, everybody. My name's Reed. I'm in Berkeley, California. Great to be here, Jai Ma.
Good to see you, neighbor.
Hey,
Jai
Reed.
Ma.
Welcome, Reed, Jai Ma. Next we have John, who was kind enough to put that link in the chat for us.
Hi, this is John, also from Berkeley. Nice to see everybody.
Glad to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see you, John.
Jai Ma, welcome. And next we have Yuhan from Estonia.
Jai Ma, I am the second time actively participating. Mostly I have passively afterwards. Very happy to be here.
Welcome, welcome. What time is it in Estonia right now?
Estonia, it's past 11 p.m.
Thank you for staying up late. Keeping vigil.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma, welcome. And next we have Kathleen Kirchner.
Kathleen Jai Ma from New Jersey.
Welcome,
Jai Ma.
Kathleen. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma, welcome. Next we have Michael Zeev.
Jai Ma, I'm Michael from Northern California.
Jai Ma,
Jai Ma.
Michael. Good to see you. Unless we'll get on the calendar a time we can meet again.
Yeah, great.
Michael's going to India for the first time soon, and we're gonna give him some Indian advice.
Jai Ma, welcome, Michael. And next we have Julia or Shyama.
Jai Ma, everyone. I'm in Ontario with brilliant spring.
Jai Ma, Shyama. We'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Jai Ma, welcome. Next we have Kent.
Hello, I'm Kent from South Dakota. Jai Ma.
Kent,
Jai
very
Ma.
good. Welcome, Jai Ma.
Wow. A lot of places.
Yeah, we are well represented today. That's
Good, it's really nice. I was reaching out around the world, touching hearts.
beautiful. All right. Next we have Laura or Laura.
Hi, Jai Ma. I'm Laura from San Diego, California, on my way from Los Angeles right now to San Diego. But I'm very happy to join. It's Ma's great. I have her right here reading My Days with Srimad Anandamayi Bhitika Mukherjee. Excellent book, Jai Ma.
Jai Ma,
Jai
welcome.
Ma.
I just hope you're not driving yourself. It's somebody else
No,
driving.
no, it's my husband driving.
Good, good. That's one of my favorite books. I love that book by Bhitika Mukherjee. I was able to spend a whole morning with her one time in her home talking to her, and she was a remarkable lifelong devotee of mine. It's a beautiful book. Yeah. Welcome.
Jai Ma, welcome. And next we have Michelle.
Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle from Baltimore, Maryland. It's my first time with you all, and I can't tell you how thrilled I am to have found you.
Oh.
Thank you. We are thrilled we have found you too. Really and truly, I say to all of you, you've heard this before, but it just warms my heart. When I was living in India for many years, and the ashram was semi traveling, and I would meet so many people who Ma had touched, who weren't with Ma in the body, but Ma was so real in their lives, and there was just nowhere to go to get more information, to have community. So this has worked out by Ma's grace so well that we have real community here of people who are been touched by Ma and who want to go further and deeper into Ma's presence and teachings. And so we're so happy to see everyone. So welcome, Michelle. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma, welcome, Michelle and everyone. It's good to see everyone create this with everyone. Next we have Randy.
Jai Ma, and welcome and glad to be here. Western Massachusetts.
Wow, looks beautiful.
Always good to see you, Randy.
Jai Ma.
Great to be here.
Jai Ma, welcome, Randy. And next we have Robbie.
Hey Ma, this is Robbie from Vancouver. It's my first Satsang live, so excited to join today. And nice to see you in Mangalananda again.
Jai
From
Ma.
Vancouver. Yes.
Robbie and I met was it just last week, right?
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, I was in British Columbia doing a wedding, performing a wedding for a student of mine up there. Because I can also do weddings. I can do a Vedic wedding in 40 minutes, which usually takes 3 days. But anyway, we did a wedding up there, and Robbie and I met and had really nice talk. It was good. I'm so happy to see you, Robbie. Very good.
Yeah, nice to see you too, Jai Ma.
And by the way, BC is a beautiful area. Holy moly, it's nature at its best. It was so beautiful. Welcome, Robert. Jema.
Thank you, Jema.
Jaymon, welcome. And next we have aloha to Sarah Anderson.
Jema from the east side of the Big Island, KL. So good to be here. Jema.
Good to see you, sir. Always, Jema.
Jaymon, aloha and welcome. And next we have Saraswati.
Greetings from Buffalo, New York. Saraswati here. So glad to see you all.
Always good to see you. Saraswati is
Jema.
destined to be very active in our new ashram. We're making sure of that. A good teacher and good. She just recently received Diksha in the Ma's lineage in Kankal. So she's a very nice addition to our satsang. Jema.
Beautiful Saraswati ji, welcome. And next we have Shivank.
Jema, I'm Shivam from Wichita, Kansas.
Jema, this is Sanjay. Happy to be here.
Always good to see you, Sanjay. And I'll call you later.
Sure.
Later, you're free. Good to see you both. Welcome.
I just, Mangalananda-ji, I just have to say that the Shivank and his dad, Sanjay, and mother and brother are all flying from Wichita to Western Massachusetts to help us with the ashram opening. And, you know, Sanjay is a very modest friend of ours, you know, devotee, but he sent me, he has planned he and his family are cooking the prasad. And sent me a spreadsheet of all the groceries that we need to buy. How many kilograms of this? How many kilograms of that? Because, you know, he's a rocket designer or something. So we're so excited. We're so thrilled that they're coming, and we'll have the groceries ready for them when they arrive.
And Sanjay has been really helpful in our ashram in India too, helping us in different things. Yeah, good.
Jema, welcome to you both. And next we have Kankana Banerjee.
You sure to unmute?
Looks like she doesn't actually have sound, so maybe we will skip that.
Okay, well, welcome, and Jema, we're happy you're here. Hope you can hear us.
I think that's it, unless there's anybody I missed or joined late. It looks
Yana's not here today. Okay. I want to make welcome to all of you. It's so wonderful. It's really good to see everybody, new ones, new faces, and old faces both. It's just really good. We're here to do this together. One more quick announcement, very important. To begin this new ashram, we started, Pragya's lawyer actually helped us start a nonprofit, which is Sri Anandamayi Ma Ashram and Temple. And we're all on the board members, and we're sponsoring our first in-person event. Will be kind of the next stage of this Matri Satsang event, of Matri Satsang online that we've had for these last few years, 4 years now. We're having an in-person, we're calling it a mini Samyan Saptak. A Saptak means week. It's a 3-day long retreat in upstate New York in late September. What is it, 26th through 30th of September?
That's correct.
Yeah,
and
so
we will be there.
Yeah, we will be there. Pragya will be there. Rainu, we're going to be there. Or she's going to get fined. We're trying to get Shakatya to be there, but it's a long trip from Portugal. But anyway, everyone's. We're going to try to get as many people there. And our Swami Gurushorananda, by Ma's grace, 98% chance, 99% chance he'll be there. He's still working on renewing his visa. And we're waiting to see when Shyama-ji for sure, if he's coming, to start putting out promotion. But please at least mark the date. And if you can join us, it would be wonderful, because Anandamayi Ma always took special interest and put a lot of stress on this idea of Samyan Sapta, which is a week. Usually it's a week long, but we're doing a mini one, 3 days. It's a time where we meet together and we have group meditation, many talks, a lot of interactions, satsang. We're going to do a Nam Yagya. That's just walking around singing the name of God. It's going to be a very beautiful time to all be together and to learn more about Ma and our Swami Gurushoran. By Ma's grace, we'll be there from India. So please mark those dates.
It's at Shivananda.
Yeah, it's at Shivananda Yoga Ranch in northern New York, which is a beautiful setting for it. They'll be cooking the food and everything. So,
Simple accommodations.
yeah, do we have a link for that yet? Or is it,
There is a link to the event that we've just posted.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Randy, always efficient, has already posted the link as I speak.
And I'm not
Good.
sure why, but we have a couple hands ups really quickly. I'm
Well, yeah,
not sure.
what's up? Question, what's up, Randy? Your question? And Sanjay.
Oh, I gotta put my hand down here. I just was wondering, when should we start registering? Is it open now?
I think you can register now, right, Pragya?
Yes, you can register now. I added the link for registration through the Shivananda Yoga Ranch.
Yes.
Good.
We
And
can
Saraswati
register
and
on-
Pragya.
yeah, we can register on that site, which means that there's a tuition for the whole, for the 4 or 5 day retreat, but then you can choose what kind of accommodation you are and register, with the Shivananda people, and then you'll be all set.
Good, good. So whoever can join us, we really hope you join us, and we're going to have a really wonderful event. It's going to be wonderful, very good. And both Saraswati and Pragya and I and Swami Gurusharan will be teaching and sharing things, and a lot of participation. It's going to be a wonderful time, a beautiful place. Okay, so now we can actually begin. Oh yeah, Sanjay had his hand up. Sanjay, do you have a question?
Yeah, so yeah, on that Swami-ji, I think his visa has got approved, so I was helping him.
I haven't heard from the day, so you've heard
Yes.
it as approved.
Yeah, so he's got approved, so almost 99.99, I would say now, he's going to be there.
Jai Ma, Jai Ma, Jai Ma, praise the Lord. Thank you, Ma. If you haven't met Swami Gurusharan, you're missing something. He's a wonderful, he's what, a 6'7" Punjabi Swami who is runs our Masharanam ashram in India. And he's really a wonderful, joyous presence to be with, and very inspiring. So it'll be a great time. So let's begin the way we always do, with Ma's words of assurance that she arrived before we did. And she's with us always. So Ma says, in her own words, I am ever with each one of you, wherever you happen to be. But your vision is tied down to worldly matters, and you have little time to direct your eyes to this body and your thoughts and actions. What can I do? But know it for certain that whatever you do in thought and deed, whether you are near or in distant lands, never escapes my loving attention. Just as at a flash of torchlight, your faces gleam forth in their bold outlines, all your facial expressions appear in my mind when you meditate on me or talk about me or sit down to pray to me. So when Ma was in her body, wherever we were in the world, we appeared in her mind when we just thought of her. And now that she's not physically embodied, it's even more possible. She sees, she's instantly with us. She's as the Atman. I have some new ones here too. Somewhere. Some more words of Ma. If anyone discloses, because she frequently referred to herself as this body, Ye Sharir, rather than I. So she just said it both ways. If anyone discloses to this body a special line of sadhana, it can describe in minute detail the various stages of that very line, because every sadhana played through Ma's body during those 6 years of sadhana. Ma says, I am the visible embodiment of the pure aspiration of all true spiritual aspirants. She says, when children come to me, I joke with them and become one with me. You ask me, are you within my ken when I am in my all-comprehensive self? Not only you, even those who have never heard of me or seen me, swim into my vision the moment they need me, and I do the needful for them. This body responds to the fervent cry of those who have never seen it. I am especially in need, Ma is in need of us. I am especially in need of those who are unable to shift for themselves and have none to prop them up in their spiritual life. She wants those who need her, and she needs us. She says, I do not wait for your spiritual readiness. Like the flowing river Ganges, Ganga, I go on bestowing compassion on all. Whenever anyone does anything depending on this body, if there is a chance of ill fate for that person, it is borne by and manifested within this body. So she takes on any bad karma. Whoever has once been drawn to love this body will never succeed in wiping out its impression, even despite hundreds of attempts. This body will rest and shall remain in your memory from all time. She says, have faith in this body. Your unswerving faith will open your eyes. And the last thing is, anyone calling out for God from any land, in any language, and in any age, remember their cries reach this heart like the waves crashing onto the shore. So Ma assures us that she hears us and is with us at all times. So we like to begin with a kirtan because we're going to invoke Ma through our thoughts and through our prayers, through the intellect, but through the heart first, through music. So we always start with this one particular kirtan, which he wrote for ashram in India, because it's called, our ashram in India is called Ma Sharanam Ashram. So this kirtan is just Om Ma Sharanam. And Sharanam means a place of refuge, a place of the port in the storm, the place of steadiness and steadfastness. The Ma takes us under her shelter. Om Ma Sharanam. Okay. And
Sound? No.
I am removing the sound. Thank you.
Okay.
If you don't put on a visual sound, it does not come through. Okay. Shri Anandamayi Mata Ki Jai. Om Ma Sharanam. 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 Om Ma Anandamayi Ma, 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 Anandamayi Ma. Anandamayi Ma, 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 Anandamayi Ma. Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma, Anandamayi Ma. Om Ma Sharanam, 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 Om Ma Sharanam. Om Ma Sharanam, Om Ma Sharanam. Sharanam Om
Sharanam
Om Sharanam Om Sharanam Om Sharanam Om Sharanam Together one last time. Om Sharanam. Om Sharanam. Om Let's just sit for a moment and tune into Ma's presence with us and within us and feel her presence. Those of you who were with us 2 months ago, last time I was here, remember I was reading from this book.
Sound?
Oh, thank you. An external memory. Okay. So I was reading from this book. There's 2 volumes, Divine Compassion, Anandamayi Ma by Dhirendra Nath Datta. And I really recommend it. It's recently just put out by the Anandamayi Archives in Delhi. And very well translated, very well printed, and it's just beautiful. It's his diary of his time with Ma from 1939 to I think 1959, and just his interactions and his very candid admission of his own spiritual shortcomings and his problems and how Ma just pulls him out. It's very beautiful. And so I want to read another excerpt, which is very relevant to me because in 2001, I've been living in an ashram of Ma in America for many, many years. And Ma's main Swami, Swami Bhaskarananda-ji, who was the beloved Swami of our Sangha. Everyone just adored him. He'd been with Ma since the 1940s also, and was really a great master yogi himself, but so humble and so sweet. Everybody just adored him. Anyway, he sent me back to India to help start a school in Ma's ashram in a place called Omkareshwar in central India. It's a very famous Shiva shrine. I lived there for 12 years and helped start the school, which is still running to this day. It's where I met Swami Guru Sharananda. And we knew that Ma had come there in 1940 or 1941, but it wasn't clear what happened because the main recorder we have of Ma's life is Guru Priya Didi, and her day-to-day diary of her time with Ma which is like, I don't know, 23 volumes or something. We have a lot of Ma's Lila that went on, but Guru Priya Didi was not in good health at that time and wasn't with Ma, so we didn't know much about her time there. But in this book, this man was with her that time. And so I want to read you his time in Omkareshwar, and then I want to tell you the link I have with this man and with somebody he met, which I find very interesting. So here's Dhirendra Nath Datta's account. In 1941, Thursday, 27th February, he arrived early. Omkareshwar is actually an island in the middle of the Narmada River. The Narmada River is the second, I think 7 holy rivers, the Ganga being the first, which flows from the Himalayas eastward to the Bay of Bengal. The Narmada starts in central India, Madhya Pradesh, and goes westward to the Sea of the Arabian Sea. And they're both considered holy ones. The Ganga is the mother of all. She's a purifying mother. The Narmada is where for centuries and centuries the sadhus have lived. There's a special Shakti in the water itself that really is very good for sadhana. I sat for the next to the river for 12 years, bathing in it at 4 a.m, drinking its water for 12 years. I can tell you from experience. So, excuse me. You have to arrive there either by boat or there's a couple of bridges. So here's his account. This is February 27th, 1941. Excuse me. He says, about 11 in the morning, about 11 in the morning, a boat brought Sri Sri Ma across the Narmada River to this side. I was bathing at the time. This area of the river is somewhat square in shape, rather long and surprisingly deep. According to the story in the Puranas, it was here that Mahadev's trident had pierced the Patal, that's the underworld, releasing the Omkar Dwani. In other words, it says in the Shastra and the Puranas that Shiva put his Trishul, his trident down, and it opened up the sound of Om to come up there. That's why it's called Om. And it's one of the 12 Jyotirlingams. That's the 12 self-manifested Shiva lingams that are in different parts of India from literally thousands of years ago. They've been worshipped. So it's a very special place. Shiva-ji has been established on the adjacent mountain and is worshipped in the name of Omkareshwar. This hill and the tiny village also bear this name. Looking at her in surprise in my wet clothes, I held the boat. Sri Sri Ma's face was smiling, her eyes tender and bright. With her was Swami Paramananda, Shishir Brahmachari, Devaji, and Gopal. Since yesterday afternoon, this area has become deserted. The Dharmashala has become silent. With Prafulla Brahmachari's help, we were able to get the spacious rooms on the second floor. Remember that. Special Dharmashala rooms on the second floor. I'll tell you more later. Overlooking the Narmada for our use, and we settled in with Ma. Later, I got to know from Swamiji that they had come directly from Chopar Udyapur via Ahmedabad. There had been some talk of visiting Omkarnath. Okay. He describes the place of the temple and everything, which is very beautiful. He describes the scene of what he sees every day. Now they spent several days there with Ma in this very peaceful, wonderful place. These days have been truly unforgettable for all of us. There was no excitement, no turbulence of any sort. It has been a time of continual peace, tranquility, the days going by in a leisurely, imperceptible manner. Nature all around us appears like a yogi immersed in deep meditation. It's true that spiritual vibration of the place is so steady and so amazing. And in the midst of all this is the ever-smiling, stately Sri Sri Ma Anandamayi in her gracious, benevolent form, moving about at her will, her eyes always overflowing with compassion, her presence felt every moment. The quiet moments and days with her are helping us to realize with increasing intensity that she is indeed a part of us, evermore our very own. We feel filled to the brim with joy that we cannot express. In spite of many difficulties and challenges, we are spending the days in supreme bliss, as if in a trance. We visit the hut on days it assembles. That's the marketplace. There was just a temporary marketplace. To buy our essentials, shopping carefully, carrying them back on our shoulders, then using them with utmost thrift to make them last as long as possible. It is our daily routine to go down to the Narmada to wash and bathe. I can just see exactly where they're going. And to bring back our drinking water. Lakshman Bhai runs down 2 miles every day on the other side of the river to a tiny village to procure cow's milk. From Gopal Babu, from Gopi Babu to Gopal, no one hesitates in doing some chore. See, there's just a community around Ma. Ma always brought community. It is an indescribable feeling. Everyone is content. Every face reflects complete happiness, and all the while, Sri Sri Ma's eyes are upon us, full of tenderness, full of benevolence. In this land of Shiva, all is Shivam. That means auspicious. The manager of I can remember this character also. The manager of the Court of Wards, an educated young man. Now, this is a young man who's a new barrister who is appearing in the court there. Remember this character. The manager of the Court of Wards, an educated young man drawn by Sri Sri Ma's charm, has begun to drop in for her darshan every afternoon. One day he brought 2 light boats and took Ma and us on a trip around the Omkareshwar hill. This was a wonderful novel quest. At the back of the hill, the level of the riverbed is not uniform and the depth of the water varies. At times the boat would get stuck. We've done this many times. At times the boat would get stuck while Sri Sri Ma and Devaji kept sitting and push and pull the boat a considerable distance to free it, often slipping on the smooth pebbles strewn on the riverbed, getting up again. All this amidst a lot of joy and laughter, reflection of an easy boisterousness. Sri Sri Ma, the embodiment of bliss, is releasing the source of joy within her, scattering it in all directions as life-giving ambrosia. The guy writes really well. His descriptions are so nice. There is no sign of human, now this is on the other side of the river, it's just this way to this day. There is no sign of human habitation within sight, and all around one can see only high mountains covered with green forest, with the shadows making nature appear to be in a brooding and meditative phase. No ray of light reaches these parts. The only sound is that of our combined voices, raised in loud, spontaneous laughter, echoing from all sides, sounding almost like thunder. Finally, having gone all around the parikrama, we return to the other side of the hill. There is more light here, sunbeams reaching here easily, and the tiny village clearly visible. Right before us were fields of crops from where the manager picked up watermelons. They were cut in the boat, offered to Sri Sri Ma, and then joyfully partook of it as prasad. A little before sunset, our boats reached the landing site below the Dharmashala, and the manager, this long lawyer, after pranam to Ma, took his leave. So that's from 1941, and I want to tell you then from about maybe 2008 or 9. Okay, so I lived there from 2000, this very place he was at, from 2001 to 2013. And just a few years before, I think in the mid to late 90s, 1990s, our Swami Kedarnath, who is still the Bahant there today, established a small ashram for Ma there. And so I was living there very happily doing my sadhana, and then we started a school for the village children who were just begging before. Now we go back every year and we see them now grown up, getting jobs in government offices and things, and being married, going to college. Yeah, it's really wonderful. So anyway, I was living there, and our Swami Kedarnath, the Mahant of the ashram, we always called just Baba, respected father. So Baba called me one day and he said, in Didi's diary, we see that Ma visited here at Omkareshwar, but we don't know anything about it. And I found out there's one old man, he's in his late 90s, and he's still living here, who was here at Ma's time. So he said, you find him. He told me where to look. He said, you find this man. This is your seva for you. You find this man, you find out all the details about his trip, and let's write it down so we can have a record of Ma's time in Omkareshwar. This before this book was published. So I went, and through various investigations, I found this old man who was still living in the village in a little room, and he granted me a nice interview, and I talked to him. He was very old. He was late 90s, but still very bright, very chipper. I went into his room. It was just filled with pictures of Ma, books about Ma. And I asked him, tell me everything you remember about your time of Ma's visit. And he sat down and he said, I remember everything like it was yesterday. Oh. He said, I was a young barrister, just having passed the bar exams. And Ma came, and she came with Gopinath Kaviraj, who was the very famous, the world's most famous pundit in India at the time, who was an absolutely, you could say, fanatically devoted disciple of Ma. He studied all the scriptures, and he was considered a saint in his own right. He had a guru, and he did a lot of meditation. He said, all the states of divinity I've seen in the scriptures, I see before my eyes manifested in Ma. So Gopinath Kaviraj was there. Ma was, she would have been, what, 42 years old at the time? But this man said she looked like she was 18. She said she looked like a radiant goddess at the time. And he said, people didn't know that much about Ma in these early days. This is in the 40s. And so she said a lot of people came just to hear Gopinath Kaviraj give a talk, because they were staying in this dharmashala, and Ma was sitting there, and Gopinath Kaviraj would speak every night. So people came, and they became, as the case was, infatuated with Ma. This is called divine attraction. You find it in the life of the avatars, in Jesus Christ and Sri Krishna and Ram. You just hear how the sight of them just ravaged the eyes and heart. And people were like the gopis, were just like, do anything just to be with Krishna for a second. This divine attraction is also in Ma's life in the beginning. So people came and were just fascinated with Ma, even though she wasn't speaking that much at the time. Later on, she may have said a little bit. So people came more and more just to see Ma. And so this young lawyer came, and he was captivated by Ma. And he told me the very thing we just read in this book. He said, one day I arranged for some boats and we took Ma and the parikrama around the island. This is something I've done many times myself. Can we let in? There you go. This is something I've done many times myself. The boat around, in fact, you've gone with me before. The boat around the island is really nice. And we were always, Baba and I would always talk. Ma sat in that boat, and we know she saw everything at all times. When she went by the shore where our ashram eventually was coming down the hillside, it was built on 7 levels coming down the hillside. I had a room at the very top. She no doubt right there saw it. She no doubt willed it. She no doubt willed, okay, I'll have an ashram there later, a few layers later, you know. And our ashram, we always say we came from there. So this man who we just read about said he said he got in the boat. Now they have, like, you know, these are real lot of motors they on them, but that in those days they were just paddling the boat. He said, I paddled the boat with Ma, and we went around. At one point, it was too hard to paddle, so I paddled. He said, Ma looked over at me and smiled. And I remember he went like this, and he said, to this day, I remember that smile of Anandamayi Ma. It was so sweet. And so I came back, I wrote all this down. I came back, I told Baba at the ashram, and Baba said, okay, write all it down in a journal and we'll publish it. Then he said, okay, your job is not done. Now you find out the exact room Ma stayed in. So I went back to the man, and I got another appointment with him, and he took me into the marketplace to this very old dharmashala. A dharmashala is a pilgrim guest house. You usually only stay 3 days. But it was a very old and beautifully built dharmashala with a real classical Indian architecture. I think it was 3 stories high. And so he got the key from the chowkidar, and we went up to the top floor. They call it the second floor because they call the first floor ground floor, but it's really the 3rd floor by American standard. So we went there, and there was a very special room with beautiful murals in the wall and a little balcony.
And pillars.
Yeah, pillars. She's been there. Pragya, did I take you there when we were in Omkareshwar? Pragya? Okay, anyway, I've taken a few people there. Rainer, you didn't go to Omkareshwar, did you?
No,
Okay.
I get to
But
go.
anyway, I've taken many people there because it was so wonderful. So you go up the top, and it's this very special room. So I came back and told Baba, here's the room, we've got it, blah, blah, blah. He said, okay, your job is not done yet. You establish a shrine there that says Ma lived in this room. I stayed in this room for these dates, and we have the dates. So I went back to the man. He said, we can't do this unless you ask the owner. The owner lived in another town a ways away. Saying, what is somebody? Yeah, there we go. And so I got on my motorcycle, I had a motorcycle there, and went to this place and talked to this guy, got an appointment. He said, oh, we've had so many saints saying that dharmashala. No, if I let you, I'll let all of them. No, you can't do it. No. So I went back and told Baba, he won't let me. He said, go back and ask him again. So I drove back and really kind of hounded him. So he finally gave me permission. So I got a beautiful picture of Ma like this big. I measured it to this place, and I had it written there, Anandamayi Ma stayed in this room on these dates. And I put it in there. And the hardest part of the whole thing was I had a piece of glass that went over the whole thing. And every time I put it in, it would break. So many pieces of glass later, I had a beautiful shrine there. It was wonderful. And then Baba said, your Gandhab's not over yet. At least once a year, you go there and do puja and arati, and remember that Ma was there. Now, I did more than that. Our Swami Bhaskaranaji, who was Ma's main Swami, who sent me there, would come to our Omkareshwar ashram at least once a year, sometimes 2 or 3 times. And anything we did, whether we opened a new classroom or a new room or anything we did, we'd always ask him to come and inaugurate it, because he was Ma's presence on earth. He was so one with Ma. So he was coming, and we told him about this room and how Ma had been here, and he was very happy. So when he came, we all piled into a boat and went downstream to the place, got out, and with great joy, with kirtan and singing, we all filed up into the dharmashala and on the top room, and we sat there and we did puja of Ma. We sang kirtan, and Swami Bhaskaranaji blessed the place. It was just really thrilling. And then in the school, I would regularly teach a class on the life of Anandamayi Ma. That's how I eventually wrote my book, because I had collected from all the books I had all these stories about Ma in one book, which I had made notes in different books. And so that's the notes I used to write my book about Ma. So I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I was teaching a class to the village children on Ma's life, and they loved it every day. In fact, I made it more relevant. I would say, you're all so young, and you're coming to Ma so young, there's a good chance you were with her in your past life. Now, I would tell you, because there was, because they all loved Ma. Every day before school, we would line up and all sing the Ma Chalisa and read Ma's words and pretty much sing to Ma. So I would go regularly, I would take my class up to the room. And it made it more real. I would say, Ma sat right here on this floor. She was right here on this floor. Ma was right here. And she said this, she walked down on that balcony and looked at the temple, So this made it more real. So now when you go to Omkareshwar, you should always visit that shrine of Anandamayi Ma. But to me, that was so wonderful to read this account of this man when Ma was here, which we didn't have before, and then to link my own memories with it and with one of the people he actually met. So that's good.
What book were you reading from? There was a couple questions. Is it Divine Compassion?
Yeah, it's called Divine Compassion, Anandamayi Ma by Dhirendra Nath Dutta, D-U-T-T-A. I was not, someone told me this had come out. I was not able to find it on Amazon, but I found it, I just Googled it, and I found it on something like Exotic India Gifts or something like that.
There's 2 links in the chat people have posted. But we
Good.
want to confirm that was the book.
I highly recommend it. It's a very moving book, and the man is, it's very beautiful to see how he has a very low self-opinion of himself, and he says, I'm not getting anywhere, and he's always, griping about to Ma, and we just see how Ma pulled him out. He loved kirtan, singing the divine name, so Ma put him in charge of doing these different kirtan events throughout her Leela. And eventually this man began the ashram in New Delhi, in Old Delhi. No, outside of Delhi, it's in Kalkaji. So the beautiful ashram in Delhi, we're here, Raina, you've been with me there. Yeah, outside of Delhi was founded by this man. He eventually, really had a great influence. He was a real devotee, but he suffered from low self-esteem, I think.
Even her room there was very powerful.
Yeah, sitting in Ma's room is very wonderful. Yeah, yeah. And you remember, Rainu, there was that round kirtan hall. It was round.
Yes.
That's all described in here, and how Ma was there for the laying of the foundation. It was Ma herself said, make it round so we can do the Nam Yagya, because in Bengal they have the custom of Nam Yagya, where you walk around a central altar singing the divine names. And it's something that's very prevalent in Ma's Leela, and it's something that all of you who are going to join us in New York, we're going to do that together too. So that's going to be one of our activities. Okay, good. So let's move on, and we asked for our dear sister from Portugal, Katia. I need an external memory now. I'm getting demented. And we asked our dear sister Katia to sing us a kirtan, and then we'll go on to Prajna's reading.
Yes, of course. Thank you so much. So today I am singing this beautiful chant, Om Bhagavan Shri Bhagavan Ananda Bhagavan Shivananda Bhagavan. So this beautiful meaning behind, O Bhagavan, O Ma, we salute you with love, with joy, with surrender in our hearts. You are Ananda, the blissful joy of being. And you are Shiva-like, Shiva nature, so untouched, auspicious, ever pure, ever blissful. So feel free to join me. So Om. Shivananda Bhagavan. Om Bhagavan Shri Bhagavan Ananda Bhagavan 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 Shivananda Bhagavan. Om Shri Shri Anandamayi Mata Ki Jai.
Thank you, Katya. That was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now I'd like to turn over the meeting to Pragya, who, as you probably know, she's the author of the book Mother of Bliss, which has become kind of a classic in Ma's literature, published by, I forget who it's published by. Anyway,
Oxford University.
Oxford University, yeah. And so now her most recent Saving for Ma is this wonderful 2-volume book, The Gospel of Sri Anandamayi Ma. So why don't you, Pragya, just for the new people, give us a brief exposition of how that came about and give us your reading, please.
Thank you so much, Jay Ma. Yes, so this is what volume 2 looks like of the Gospel of Sri Anandamayi Ma. And I was blessed to be gifted with some old transcriptions of Ma's satsangs between 1960 and 1980, so the last 20 years of her life in her body. And they were done by someone who was a pundit that was hired to listen to her tapes and translate. And when I showed them to Swami Guru Sharan, he was, first of all, just stunned that I had these transcriptions just in my attic. And he said, this is a gold mine, you must publish this. But also we felt that they could be translated more, to be more true to Ma's bhav, Ma's words, Ma's teachings, especially if they were translated by a devotee. So I sat and listen to these tapes over a period of about 7 or 8 months with Jaya Sanyal, who is Ma's grandniece. So Ma had a brother who did survive to live a life of a householder, and he had children who had children. And Jaya, who will be singing next week at our opening ceremony, she's going to be singing that beautiful chant that you love to sing, Mangalananda-ji, Hridaya. I can't remember what.
Oh, Baiji's hymn, Jai Hidayah.
Baiji's hymn, yeah.
Wonderful. Tell her hello for me.
I will. She sings so beautifully. Anyway, she and I listened to these, and then we retranslated them. We went through all of them and just had the blessing of spending, I did, many years after that, making them flow and just imbibing Ma's words. So the one we're reading from today is this is tape number 88. And this satsang took place towards the end of Ma's life in Dehradun, June 21st, 1980. So 2 years before Ma's Mahasamadhi. So I'm just going to read some of these questions and Ma's responses. Questioner, why does one face hardships? Shri Ma, miseries come to a person as long as they feel that God is far away from them. Questioner, how can we remove them? Shri Ma, without the Shakti obtained from God, and the questioner finishes the sentences, they cannot be removed. Shri Ma says, yes, Durbuddhi, ignorance, is not removed. Durbuddhi, Durbodha, thinking that God is far away from us, and Durgati, misfortune, they are not removed until you have some Shakti, some divine power from God. No, they are not removed until you have some Shakti from God. And until they are removed, you will undergo suffering and misery. Questioner, what is the way to remove them? Shri Ma, they will be there as long as you are in Manoraja, the kingdom of mind. You say you are happy. Why? Because your mind says so. You say you are distressed. Why? Because your mind says that. You feel as your mind tells you to feel. As long as this situation exists, you will have these miseries. You will have them until you realize that there is only Rama, Krishna, and Shiva, nothing else. It will remain until you realize that there is only Parabrahman, only Paramatma, and nothing else. Until you remove the idea of duality, you will have Durbuddhi, negative thoughts, and that will bring you all kinds of suffering. How will you get his Shakti, his divine power? Have Tat Buddhi, an intellect centered in God. Do Bhagavad Bhavana, contemplation of God. Do Bhagavad Chintana, thinking always of God. Always keep him on your mind. Whatever you do it for him. Think for him, work for him. If you go on doing that, the manmani, the listening to the mind, will be replaced by Bhagavad Chintana and Tat Shakti, the divine power of God. Then God, not the mind, will rule. This Tat Buddhi, intellect centered in God, will bring you Tat Shakti. Tat Shakti will help you realize, what am I? Who am I? What is near? What is far? And all other things that you should know. You will have no questions about them. You will realize that he is everywhere. You will see that it is Rama and Brahma alone everywhere. Nothing else. Har Aram me Ram he. It all happens where there is Rama. His power destroys all misery. Questioner, what is the way to obtain that Shakti Ma? Shri Ma, the way? Bhagavad Chintana, thinking always of God. Tat Chintana, thinking only of that. See Rama, Krishna, or whomever you like everywhere. Keep him always in your mind. Just as food gives you happiness, medicine also gives you peace. Rama and Krishna are the best medicine for those who are mentally ill. They will cure your illness. Nothing happens in life that is not his kindness. Once we are able to achieve his grace, all of our miseries are gone. You have heard that someone recited, Mara, Mara, dead, dead, and God made it Rama, Rama, the name of God. What is the meaning of Ramayana, the Hindu epic that we know? When you read Ramayana, Rama becomes Ayana, manifested in you. Therefore, read the Ramayana well. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma, beautiful. So what are your thoughts about this?
You know, truthfully, I think I've told you before that for quite some time now, when it's time for satsang, I pick which volume and then I open it up and I read wherever Ma has guided me to read. And this is something we can do with Ma's words. We can ask her for the message that we need to hear for that day. So that's what I did today. And, you know, I have to tell you, you know, with all of that we have to do to get ready a week from now for 60 people to come to our house and to Ma's hall here, you know, things have certainly been challenging. And I was thinking, Mangalananda-ji, about the story that you tell about right before you got initiation and they sent you off to meditate right before Ma, you were going to go meet with Ma, and you had this like huge, like mental, I don't know what you would call it, but crisis. We used to call it a kriya, you know, like this mental, you know,
every negativity is just being purged.
A series of negativity. So I have been having quite a week with lots of things happening, like, you know, the fantastic guitar player that I had arranged to have come yesterday said, oh, I double booked, so I won't be coming. And just one thing after another, trouble with the, you know, the Wi-Fi in the house. And so this was for me. How does one face hardships? And Ma gives so many practical suggestions. You know, basically, it all comes down to the first thing she says: miseries come to a person as long as they feel that God is far away from them. That's the bottom line. And, you know, as opposed to this Leela that's happening of setting up the ashram, it's all Ma's Leela. It has nothing to do with me or my efforts. And all I can do is bow at the altar right here behind me in the morning and say, Ma, may I be your instrument? And so, yeah, so I love this. Just, she gives so many different ways to basically surrender everything to God. So I found it very inspiring. Thank you.
Yes, it's really wonderful. And really, this is the essence of Bhakti Yoga, what she just said. She says in another place, the knots that form the ego at the chakras are loose simply by remembering God always. And then, of course, to make it even more refined, she'd always said, how to remember God? It's God's name. You find, you know, of course, you know, over and over in your book and over what she said, that the main tool she would always suggest is any name of God, take that. If you have a guru, a mantra from a guru, use that. Whatever, she said, just take it, find something that works for you, and just say this name in your mind, say it in your heart. And that's one of her main things. It's so funny. You opened the book for that. As you were reading, I just opened my book of some of Ma's words, and it fell on something almost exactly the same, how to find peace. So let me just quickly read this. Ma says, peace can be obtained only when the mind is concentrated on what gives us peace, and the eyes rest upon what strengthens peace. When the ears listen to what fills the heart with peace, and when you hear at all times the answer of the one who is himself peace. So it's true, this world is full of agitation, especially these days when things are just gone crazy, topsy-turvy. But if we keep our mind and our thoughts concentrated on God, and how do we do that? It's through daily meditation, learning to concentrate the mind. When it wanders, we bring it back to the mantra, bring it back to the mantra, bring it back to the breath. When we learn that skill, and then throughout the day, try to keep saying the mantra, the name of God we've chosen. That's the only why. So she goes on, she says, And it may be tiresome in the beginning to live like this in harmony with your highest ideals, but finally it leads to a genuine sense of well-being and peace. One must learn to find joy in the sublime. If one is blessed with a human body, it is wrong not to live accordingly. Why should one live only after animal instincts? You are children of the eternal, and you must concentrate your thoughts on him. Separated from him, there is not even a chance of peace. And she says, never, 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 exclamation point. Only by living in God can one find peace. The veil will be torn and the dispeller of fears and worries will be revealed. He alone is a vanquisher of evil. He, she is yours, the only beloved of the human heart. So it's funny, I just opened up with that same thing, that the only way to survive and to thrive in spiritual life is to remember God. Because our whole, if we diagnose the illness is the ego. What's the ego? It's this little, it's where the consciousness comes out and just gets trapped in this little box we've made of I am this body, I am this mind, I am this little person with this little experiences, and that's all. I'm separate from everything else. That is just a recipe for intense suffering, which is the definition of the human condition. And so what Ma is telling us is, expand our thoughts outward to remember the one who made us, the one from whom our consciousness comes, the one who spread out the universe in its galaxies around us, that one who's seated in everybody's heart. The more we remember that one, however, and she's so universal, however, whatever Ishti, she says Rama, Krishna, Devi, we think of Ma. So the more we remember that name and remember that presence, the more the knots of the ego just become unraveled, and that our sense of identity becomes so much greater. And then finally, we become aware of that inner dweller, that antayami, the indweller of the heart. So yeah, that's a beautiful reading, and it's so practical. Yeah. But anyone else, Saraswati or Katya, anyone else have any thoughts on this reading?
Oh, I just love it so much. Thank you both for sharing that. It's just such a wonderful reminder. The world goes on, the things come, the events come, and there's always God. And I just love it so much. It's such a wonderful reminder. Thank you. And I had a similar thing right before I received Diksha as well. It was almost like a little bit of a test. It was like a testing. And I see that a lot in my journeys with Ma, that it's almost in the purifying that these tests come up and these obstacles come up. And at this point, I'm like, okay, great. This gets me closer. So just go with it. So thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, that's true. The ego has become so established in us from so many lifetimes that it's almost like a separate entity from us. You're going to get scared, like like Ramana Maharshi said, when the prey is caught in the mouth of the tiger, there's no chance of escape. And when the Guru, when the Ishta, when God has become real to us and has taken us in his arms, the ego has no chance of escape. It will eventually die, but it squirms and it screams. After that original experience of having all that be purged out of me before my Diksha, I learned to recognize it. And I found when something was going to happen in the future, just the near future, like maybe next week, something good was going to happen. I was going to meet a saint. There was going to be another stage in my spiritual life. I would start to feel that deep stirring of unrest, kind of like, ooh, God, the ego is getting scared. And I would know, oh, good, something good is coming up, because the good old ego is just starting to scream and sweat. So we have to get used to that and learn that. Good. Well, I want to have a special session now. Again, we want to make Ma more real. And I've told some of my memories of being with Ma. If you read my book, Goddess Among Us, I have some of my memories of being with Ma. But we have another person here, Julia, who has the name Shyama, who's in Canada, who was with Ma. And I'd like to ask Shyama to tell us some of her living memories of being with Anandamayi Ma in person, so we can tune into that also. So Shyama, will you share some of those thoughts with us?
Yes, I'm so very honored. And this satsang today has been so wonderful. So my journey began in 1972 when my dad was diagnosed with cancer, and I began to get very interested in the words of Neem Karoli Baba through Baba Ramdas. And I remember reading Be Here Now by candlelight, and made the decision very soon after my dad's death that I wanted to know where the energy of my father went. I knew the body changed and death is inevitable. Where does the energy go? Energy doesn't die. So that's really what led me to India to meet Neem Karoli Baba. And so I eventually got to that ashram in Kashi, in the mountains. And the day I arrived, I was told, oh, Neem Karoli Baba just died. So I went and stayed in Almora in the Himalayas and received a telegram that my own mother had died. So it was very clear to me that now is the time to dive deep. And I had heard of Anandamayi Ma, but what I had heard was she's very sweet. And I didn't want sweet. I wanted intense. So with all this message around death, it was very intense. And I went to the Samyam Saptam on the Narmada River. So you spoke of the Narmada River today. And we all had to go by boat there and wait, I think a night and a day for Ma to come. So there was a long waiting for Ma to come. And everyone was anticipating Ma's coming. I hadn't met Ma before. When Ma climbed the steps from the river, my heart there was an immediate sense of opening with tears of being seen through and through. And after that, I went to Hardwar to be with Ma in Kankal. I stayed in the Dharamsala with Atmananda and Malita. And I remember being in this room. Every day I had to cover my food carefully and make sure that the rat didn't come in the hole where you cleaned and the water went out. It was a typical old Dharamshala. And daily bathed in the Ganga, such a pilgrimage place, and had went for darshan with Ma in the ashram. And this went on for quite some time. And eventually I spoke with Bhaskarananda and requested Diksha. And there was another woman there, and I think her name was Mukti, an American. I'll just say that I was very fortunate, actually, because as a Canadian, I never had to go to renew my visa. It was a great blessing. And so I just stayed there. I stayed there from 1972 to 1979. It was very fortunate. And I was able to take a lot of time to take in Ma's presence. And when I was accepted for initiation, I prepared as Swami Bhaskarananda recommended. And I don't know if words can ever describe to be with Ma and receive. So after the Diksha, I stayed there again more months and joined in the daily satsang with Ma. I didn't travel with Ma. A lot of people did. If Ma went, as we know, she always traveled. I didn't do that. But at one point, I did go leave the ashram in Kankal and went to Puri, where I had stayed. That had been an early time in my years in India, and I had been adopted by a Bengali family from East Bengal, from Dhaka area. And this is how I had connected so much with the East Bengali culture. And we even had a pilgrimage to Kedarnath and Badrinath. I was able to go with these Bengalis. So I understood a little Bengali. When I returned to Kankal and was going to give pranam to Ma in person, she looked at me in the eyes and she said in Bangla, "Where have you been?" And I understood her and I said, "Ami purte jabe." And she smiled and said, "Very good," she said, which was so sweet. It was like a direct communication with Ma. It was beautiful. And my time with the Bengali family also included a journey with death, because the mother of the family had died in Calcutta, and we took her to the smashan. The family took her to the smashan, walking through the city barefoot, stopping at a Kali Mandir, and then being at the smashan while the body was being burned, which took all night long. It was like it was being in another place altogether, another consciousness. And then after that ritual, we went to the Ganga, we bathed, and had the 10 days of quietness and ritual again. So now I'm older. And when I met Ma, I was in my early 20s. Ma was in her early 80s. Now I'm 75 and remembering Ma, of course, my time in this journey of aging and this journey of preparing for death. So I'm very happy that I'm able to share this. I'm hoping to be with you in September. I'm not sure, but I would love to be with you in September. Jai Ma.
Jai Ma, thank you so much for sharing that, Shyama. That's so precious. And it's interesting how much comment. I didn't realize you were there from, did you say 72 to 79?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, because I must have met you, because I also arrived, I was wanting to see Neem Karoli Baba, and he passed away just right before I got there too.
Yeah.
So I was with Ma in 73, 74, but I did travel with her. I was with her most of the time, except sometimes she would send me away to go meditate. She'd be gone somewhere. She'd say, "Now go the Hardwar and meditate and meet me so-and-so place afterwards." But I must have met you at some point.
Well, that's of course possible. I was with Gadadhar. He would come to the Ganga each evening, and we would sit and talk. And Ram, of course, was there. I'll just say one other thing. I know that Ma led me to my work. Of course, we give in our lifetime, and I know that Ma led me to the work that I did with with Ayurveda and studying Ayurveda in India. Years later, I had more time in India to study Ayurveda. And the anointing with oil from the Kerala tradition. So I lived in Kerala and studied the healing of the oils. And that's when Bhaskarananda came to our retreat property in Central Florida. And he came twice, actually, and honored what was going on there. So at this time in my life, I'm looking, and so many people say to me, just sell the property. Don't get involved in anything else. But in my heart, I know that I'm wanting to pass it on. You know, we reach a stage in life where we pass on. our wisdom teachings and such. But I want this property, which is of nature, just as you described when you were reading from Divine Compassion. So that's the next step, to find the right people in North America. And again, it spreads everywhere in this universe, and probably far beyond. So in North America, I believe that Ma's love is with us, and that this can be even in Central Florida. It can continue. So
It is a beautiful property.
Yeah.
That's where I met you. I've been there. It's a
Yeah.
very beautiful property. I hope someone will take it on from you.
Yes, yes. Yes, Prajna, we're both working, and I can understand really clearly how you've been moving and moving. Bless you for this journey that you're giving us.
So many common themes. I lived in an ashram at Gadadhar in America for a year before I came to India. And my first trip to India, I came with Gadadhar, and I'd known Ram since I was in high school.
Oh my goodness.
In fact, I still know Ram. We had Gloria and I had lunch and dinner with Ram every day. Last time we were in Kamkala, just last year.
Wow.
He's an old friend of mine. Yeah, amazing.
Wonderful.
It's amazing. It took so long for us to meet each other, but maybe we did meet each other back in the 70s. I don't know.
Yes, when we didn't have white hair.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you very much for sharing that, Shyama. It's so beautiful. Because let me ask you one more thing. You told how, because I think everybody experiences this. When you first saw Ma, your first darshan, you felt like she just saw you through and through.
Yeah.
That was my experience too. Try to describe it more. What it was like to just first lay your eyes on mine, what you felt as much as you can. I know it's impossible to describe really, but tell us more about that first darshan.
Well, I felt immediately that this moment changes everything. Everything will be moving now in a different way, with a different energy. I can't truly describe why I wept, but it wasn't, and certainly it wasn't a sense of sadness. It was as if I was being washed completely. And there was a direct connection. I had no sense of anyone near me or being around. I simply stood and felt Ma's presence and wept with joy, or wept with that washing of Ma's presence.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think I know exactly what you mean. I think it's a relief because our soul is with God. Our soul is a part of God, but our consciousness has become so fragmented, and we're so cut off with that real part of ourselves. When suddenly we're with God again, it's like, oh, it's such a relief. I'm back home, So
I think that's very true. It was as if I don't have to struggle, and I'm not. It's not my struggle now. It's I'm here, and Ma's here, and it's okay.
Yeah, he said that sometimes. Ma herself said, "Ma is here. Why do you worry?" That's beautiful, and it's very true. You just felt this soul level acknowledgement of who Ma was and what Ma was. Your soul knew her. So it's like I always had that experience. I've never not known you. I'll never not know you in the future. It was just like this. You step into this kind of eternity when you come near Ma. Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. That's so wonderful.
Thank you.
Let's see. We've gone longer than usual. Let's spend a few minutes and have a little bit of share. We want anyone who wants to share something. But please, let's try to keep on subject. There's so many subjects in the world to talk about now, but we're specifically trying to remember Ma, her words, her effect in our lives. Anything with that. Anyone have something they'd like to share or questions to ask or anything at this point?
For a little while there, Chandana had her hand up. I'm not sure if she wanted to ask.
just wanted to say that I don't know who Julia, I didn't know who Julia was, or I went to her retreat once without knowing anything. Then
Ah,
I found out that she is Anandamayi Ma's disciple, and I felt so much joy and felt so connected. Thank you so much. And it's a
wonderful.
beautiful place. I felt like that I found Ma again.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, it's a wonderful place. When I was on tour from India, Shyama hosted me there for a few days, very, very sweetly. And we met with some local devotees and things. It was really nice. Good. Anybody out there want to buy a retreat in Florida? You know where to go.
Yitesh had his hand up, and then
Yitesh,
Michael.
Yitesh Ji, Bollier.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to share experience I had. On every month on Amavasya, New Moon Day, I go to a temple and I do like a ritual for my mom. My mom also passed away like 7 months ago. And this time I just there was a little corner in the temple and I found this book. It's called, I don't know whether you can see it's called Anandamayi, the Universal Mother, Shri Anandamayi Sangha, and it's translated in English, and it has like all the biography of Ma, like uh, different stages of her life, and it has a different pictures, which I recommend buying anyone, and I thought I would just share that it was really special that I found Ma's book in this special way where when I was in a temple for my mom. Um,
What's the title of the book again?
it's called Anandamayi, the Universal Mother.
The Universal Mother. Thank you.
And
I'm sorry to hear about your mother, Yitesh Ji. I'm sorry to hear about your mother. It's very difficult.
Yitesh, can you see if the link I just put in the chat, is that the same book, Universal Mother?
Look in the chat, yeah.
oh,
Was that?
yeah,
I don't think so. Good. Well, I'm glad you recommended. Let's look for that.
yeah. I mean, if you can see now,
There you go. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, who is the
Very good.
author
and it
for
has
the
like
Sangha?
Who is the author?
I think the author is Sri Omkarnath Goenka,
Goenka, Omkarat Goenka. Okay.
or it's Buddha Dev Bhattarji. Its original text is in Bengali, but they translated in, this is like really old. First edition was written in 95. And yeah, it's really special. It has like all, like if you go to Kankal Ashram, you see these pictures of Ma, like she's getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
in Mas Samadhi and Kankal on the wall, they have all those different stages of her life.
yeah,
Same artist. It's very
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's the same in the book form. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. But thank you, Yitesh. Thank you. Anyone else have anything you want to share for a couple of minutes?
Michael has his hands up.
Michael?
Yeah, thank you everybody for sharing, and especially Julia, I was really touched by your sharing, and I can't help but ask, you started out talking about death, and that was the impetus for your journey. Do you have anything you'd like to share on what insights came to you through all of this with Ma around that? I know it's hard to put into words, but.
Well, I think it's really the way that Mangalananda-ji opens our satsang every month. Ma is with us always. And a month ago, I went to see Swami near Gunananda-ji. And I said something along the lines of, "Oh, I sit in my sadhana every day. I'm with Ma so frequently." And he said, "Oh, it is not you are with Ma. It is Ma is with you always."
Mm.
So this is what I wish to take to my death. This is what I wish. It's not so much the death, it's just a transformation. You know, we talk of Mahashiva and transforming, and the element of fire always changing. So that's what I might say to you in terms of Ma's presence with us at every moment in all changes.
Mm. Yeah, thank you.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, very beautiful. Thank you. Yeah. I know that Dharmshala we were staying. In fact, the last place I saw Ma was in Kankal. We've been traveling. We'd come up from Naimisharanya, and she was a few days in Kankal. Then you were lucky to be a Canadian with that Canadian visa. Back in those days, a U.S. citizen only got like 3 to 6 months. So I had to constantly go to these government offices and bribe people to get my visa extended. And finally, I couldn't anymore. So the last private I had with Ma was in Kankal, and Apananda translated for me. She had, even though she was Austrian, she spoke fluent Bengali and Hindi, and she translated for me. So it was kind of a nice experience there. You know that room above the Shiva temple on the far side in Kankal? That was my last private with Ma there.
That is really beautiful to hear. And Atmananda-ji, what a devotion, truly. Thanks.
Yeah, a lifelong. She came to Ma in, I think, 39.
Yeah.
And stayed until after Ma. I think Ma passed away before her, and she was
Just shortly before her. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a true inspiration for us Westerners. She really came just from Europe. She was Austrian, and she really threw herself into spiritual life and devotion to Ma, and really towed the line. And did it to the end. Yeah. Okay, so let's do one quick. We always like to have darshan of Ma, where we look at Ma's photos as we sing a little bit, and so as we look at Ma's photos, I'm going to sing a kirtan, which I hope you join along with. Also, it's simply Sri Guru Sharanam Mama. We take refuge in the Guru. We take refuge in Ma. Okay, let's see now. Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo, Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Shri Guru Sharanam. Sri Guru Sharanam Mama, Sri Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo, Sri Guru Sharanam Mama, Sri Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo, Sri Guru Sharanam Mama, Sri Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo, Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Shri Guru Sharanam Mama, Sri Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Satguru Sharanam Mama, Jagat Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Satguru Sharanam Mama, Jagat Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Satguru Sharanam Mama, Jagat Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Satguru Sharanam Mama, Jagat Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Satguru Sharanam Mama, Jagat Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Satguru Sharanam Mama, Jagat Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Satguru Sharanam Mama, Jagat Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Satguru Sharanam Mama, Jagat Guru Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. Shri Ma Sharanam Mama, Namo Namo. So let's just sit in Ma's presence a little longer and just sit quietly. We can look at the photos of Ma, or we can sit with our own breath and just say the mantra, the name of God that Ma has shown to us in our heart, and just try to feel that mantra permeating the breath and filling us with God's presence and taking our mind off the small self and into the divine presence within the mantra. Om Asatom Sadgamaya Namasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Aviravi. Excuse me.
Sound.
Lead unreal to the real. Lead us from death. Sorry, lead us from unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light. Lead us from death to immortality. Om Bhavata Papanashanye Ananda Kanamurtaye Yana Bhakti Pradayanye Matastubhyam. Shri Shri Anandamayi Mata Ki Jai. Thank you all for joining us today. And we're here every third Sunday. And we love to hear from you any other time. And try to join us if you can go to Boston for Pragya's opening of Ma Ashram there, that's good. If you can join us at Yogaville in July, that's good. If you can come to late September to the yoga farm, that would be wonderful. Anytime at all, you can always join with Ma.
And
You
we'll
take-
be at the yoga farm.
All
next
right,
weekend.
that's right. Next weekend we'll be in Grass Valley at the yoga farm in Shivananda Yoga Farm doing
In California.
Yeah, in California, Grass Valley, California, doing a kirtan and teaching a class on mantras and bhakti yoga. You can join us there. Thank you, Pragya and Shyama and
Katya?
Katya and Renu. And keep in touch and always stay with Mom. Ma's with us at all times. The more we're together, we remember that, and we're together when we're alone. We just deepen that presence, deepen that understanding of Ma's presence. So thank you all, Jai Ma. You want to mute and go on galley view? We can all say goodbye. Good to see everybody.
Jai Ma, Jai Ma.
Oh, Janet,
We-
David, good to see you.
Yeah, we made it. Jai Ma, so beautiful, so beautiful.
Thank you, Grandma.
Thank you.
Jai Ma.
Okay, Mom.
Glad to hear your voice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Julia. Such an inspiration to hear you today.
Thank
It was
you.
so beautiful. Thank you. Beautiful satsang today.
Thanks everyone for being here.
Thank you, Saraswati, also.
Jai Ma, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma.
Jai Ma,
Jai
thank
Ma.
you.
Jai
Jai
Ma, just many blessings. I'll be praying for
Jai Ma.
Yasham opening next week.
Thank you, Laura.
I know everything will be fine. Ma is with you, so don't worry. Everything will be just as she wants it.
Thank you.
Just many blessings. I'll be praying that she's with us. I'm very happy to hear it came so soon, I think. So I think this is a great blessing.
Yeah, thank you, Lauren. Drive
I hope to
safely.
be there soon in person. Thank
Love to
see you.
all.
Good to see you.
Radha.
Oh, hi.
Hitesh, if you want to meet sometime, just let me know too. Good to see you. Jai Ma, Sanjay, I'll call you later today, okay? Jai Ma. Oh, look,
Jai Ma.
it must be the middle of the night now in Estonia. You're still here. Thank
Wow.
you. Go get some sleep.
Johan.
Jai Ma,
Many
everyone.
thanks. Jai
Jai
Ma.
Ma, everyone.
Thank you.